This is the car, this is the track, and this is exactly what you think it is. A Miata doing a jump. I don't know why they put this on here, but I'm so happy they did. I absolutely loved jumping this Miata. The only drawback for me personally is the fact that I don't have a round rim, so what's supposed to be hand over hand or like letting go of the wheel turns into this. With me having a Formula wheel, just absolutely breaking my arms for a lot of these as I'm trying to counter steer. I probably should have turned my steering ratio down, and it got dangerous. Ooh, at times, yeah.
Oh my god, I think I just broke my wrist.
Anyway, we qualified for the first race in, I think we're P4 in class, P5 overall, about 2.5 seconds off of Fabian, who is in the lead there in the Red Bull car. Car number 7 jumps the start, and it actually scares Fabian, and he decides to just lean into it and jump the start as well. So before we even get started, Fabian's got like a 10-second lead on us, but he does have a 13-second penalty, about 5 wide as we cross the line for the first time, and car number 5 getting pitted by car number 7. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody to blame for anything that's really going to happen here. Car number 4 taking the curb, spinning off to the side as he almost pit maneuvers the Clio. This is a multi-class race. Plenty of chaos continuing to happen behind. Space is not really given between myself and car number 1. That's Kyle, and he's going to fly off onto the side of the track, and that'll be the end of his race, sadly. He will make a comeback. You'll see a lot of people doing this too, just skipping the jump, which is not a bad idea because you can actually break your suspension if you go too quickly or land incorrectly from that jump. The car with no bumper, this is car number 2, sliding up the inside, and he's just gonna bottle us out of the way, push us into the wall. There's also people going around the Joker lap, which is the outside of that big corner. You'll see Mark here, car number 5, doing exactly that, rejoining the track ahead of us, so we actually end up losing a position to him. There's somebody off on the side up ahead, and then there's gonna be another guy spinning sideways, and I'm gonna pause it briefly just so we can go back and try and cover some more of what just happened because there's just so much going on. Car number 12 going around the outside, taking the Joker on the first lap. Really smart decision, actually. He's supposed to join right there back onto the dirt, but he decides to say fuck that and just completely cut the parking lot, which is apparently made of dirt by the looks of it. Car number 3 losing the car and spinning off to the side into the wall. That's going to be death for him. The car who dove us into that very long right-hander just driving into the dirt, losing grip and spinning in the middle of the straight. So we move up to P5 at the moment. We've got Mark, Michael, Adam, and then Fabian is so far ahead. It's not even, there's no point in keeping track of him, but we are looking to take P4 from Mark here, following him towards the jump, and he gets not the greatest run here, braking maybe a little bit too much, and we're going to slide up the inside, side by side through the jump. A lot of room given. We weren't really close at all through there, but we do kind of slip up the inside. It's going to be a narrow entry to the long right-hander, and Mark may be able to get a better exit than us if he nails this, but he's going to get on the throttle a little too early, and the weight just hadn't gone the direction he needed it to yet, breaking his suspension over that little curb, and that is Mark dead out of the race. We move up to P4. Lots of Miatas behind, but they're far enough behind that it's not really our problem. There is going to be a battle raging, though. It is a problem for Spitty, who is also known as Nate. He's in car number 6 right up ahead, and he's looking to defend P5 as this black car is looking to take it from him, diving up the inside of turn 2, and look at that switchback. Beautiful stuff by Spitty there. Space is allowed, so nobody runs into, well, okay, never mind. Space is not allowed, and car number 8 is gonna die for that. Spinning off into the side, Spitty takes the Joker lap. Car number 10 looking to take the Joker lap as well. May have been a good decision for car number 10 to just take the racing lap, as he had to kind of slow down to get around car number 8. As Spitty exits the Joker lap, he's going to run over the sausage, absolutely mangling his rear suspension, and he is also dead. Now for the saddest death of them all. This is the car in P2 taking his Joker lap. Even if you don't take the Joker lap correctly, I don't see how it's possible to take it this badly. He's okay. So what was the battle between myself and Adam for P3 is about to change to the battle for P2 because Michael is driving off of the track as we speak, so he's gone. And we're up into P3 now, fighting Adam for P2, trying to get a really good run, and honestly, it was a fantastic one for us. We got the car straightened out, and we're gaining a ton of time as we cross onto lap number 4, finally going to get to see what a battle should look like on this track, or could look like. He's defending the inside for turn 1, sending him extremely extremely deep at the apex. We slip up the inside for the switchback, and space is allowed very generously by car number 12 through the long right-hander. Looks like he's going to take the Joker. He actually does not, but I think it probably would have been better for him too. And in case anybody doesn't watch Rallycross, you have to take the Joker once a race. So it implements a little bit of strategy. Fabian, who was 12 seconds ahead, is now only 5, and now he's gone. Not sure at that point what happened. I didn't even realize this had happened as he went to take the jump just about 20 seconds earlier. Don't know what he did wrong there, but his suspension is no longer with him. His tire is clipping through the rear quarter panel of his car, and yeah, he is going to spin out through the long right-hander, solidifying his death. We come through that same corner moments later, in the lead of the race with a 1.6 second gap to Adam behind us. 2 laps left to go. It's a 6-lap race. We're about to cross onto lap number 5, and I just have to appreciate the diabolicalness of whoever at iRacing decided that this was a good combo, because it was. And I absolutely love you. I am going to end up hosting these races and just driving this on my own free time because it is so much fun. Car number 12, 4 seconds behind on the jump, straight into the barrier, death gripping the wheel, and on top of that, he's dead. He's absolutely dead. Final lap, we have an absolutely gargantuan gap behind us as Adam is towed to the pits, and the next closest guy is 17 seconds, just trying not to wreck our car. This is the car currently in P2, and he almost gets taken out by this Clio that decides not to take the first corner, opting for the oval as car number 10 drives directly into the barrier, killing himself. And we cross the line not too much longer, passing all sorts of lapped cars, in the lead of the race for the win, sending it over the sausage on top of the hood of car number 24 or whatever. I think that car has multiple numbers, and we are not dead. I'm not going to use that sound effect anymore. Definitely overuse that. It's like I just found out about that sound effect. We were the only car to survive. The only one. I get the Clio as well. He actually finished the race, but apart from him, I mean, it was really just about staying alive. Our laps were not great compared to Fabian's, so I wanted to work on that, and the main thing that I found to be the difference that I was doing incorrectly, I would say, is coming through the very long right-hander. I needed to hug this left much tighter and then swing it, like Scandi flick this, and stay in second. I was previously shifting down to first. Ignore the GR86 parked on arguably the apex there, but you want to get as straight of a run out as you can and basically just have it full throttle the entire time. Ba-boom. That is about as solid as it gets. Crossing the lap for a 45.26, which was pretty good. 7/10 faster than Fabian's previous qualifying time. And in the next race, it's going to be a 1v1, Fabian and myself, for pole position. And I'm going to actually pull up both of our laps here so we can see them compared side by side and just how close they were. And it was kind of astonishing. I mean, There were changes in our steering. I think I was a bit smoother through turn 1. On entrance, my exit was absolutely abysmal, but we kind of came out at exactly the same time, or so it seems. Into the dirt towards the jump, I do think I pull a slight advantage through here as I just don't brake quite as hard for it, or maybe I don't lift as much, but Fabian, I assume, has PTSD from that last race. Very similar lines to enter the long right-hander, and I think I just hold it a bit tighter all of the way around this apex as Fabian seems to go a bit deeper, maybe looking for a better exit. It could generate that. It's going to be close, though, as we come up to the line, off of the dirt, and baby, I took it. Was I taking this too seriously? I don't think so. 2/10 over Fabian. Get absolutely fucked, dude. And actually, the car behind him was really close as well, so it looked like this could be a 3-horse race. Lap number 1, Fabian doing his best not to jump the start this time. It seems like we got a good getaway until you look behind and see Lightning McQueen pulling up on our tail, so I'm heading directly towards that wall to cut him off. He's going to look up the inside. Fabian does not want anybody else involved in our fight, so he's going to put him sideways, sending him into the middle of the pack behind, where he is almost taken out by the Oreo car being pitted by the black and green, sending it 3 wide now into turn 2, and Spitty well to avoid that wall. GR absolutely spins Lightning McQueen, the king, coming through to just T-bone Spitty, who ends up hitting McQueen and some other cars. Somebody losing their bumper. He's going to drift around that corner A-OK. Moments earlier, we go over the jump, and Fabian has decided no longer to take that jump, as like you saw his suspension breaking in that last race, and keeping your car on track seems to be the most important part of this race. Fabian not doing that as he drives over the sausage on the first lap, breaking his suspension. Just that little tiny touch, and he is out of contention for this race. Car number 7 drifting up the inside, almost hitting this sausage curb on the right side, but managing to keep it out. He's moved up into P2, and we have secured the lead by a decent margin. And I'm not going to lie, this race, we basically ran away with it. I did way too much practice for this, like way too much. I don't know why. I can't help but take things to the maximum of my ability. Now we're going to hop on board with car number 1. This is Kyle, who is in a battle with Mark, the car ahead, for P3. So they're looking to chase down a podium, both taking the Joker on the second lap. And this could make a big difference if they get around here fast enough, because the Joker was quicker by about 2 to 3 seconds. Then they might be able to jump car number 7, who was in P2 previously, and it looks like they are as they go around the long right-hander, already moving up into P2 and 3. So both on the podium. Car number 1 deciding not to take the correct Joker exit, driving across the parking lot, and it actually does not even yield him the position. I think he lost time from that. On to lap number 3, and the battle is now for P2. As they head into turn 2, it looks like there's some smoke up ahead, possibly some lapped traffic coming up, and that could absolutely be the difference maker in anybody's race, mine included, because some of the guys driving this were, I mean, this was like their first week ever on iRacing. You hop straight in, hop into multi-class, which, by the way, somebody did recommend that I drive multi-class recently, and I'm assuming that this is not the series that they were referencing. For example, here is some lapped traffic that seems to be struggling to keep the car in a straight line. I'm going to run into the back of him as car number 24 or car number 7. He's got 2 numbers flying around the Joker lap, and I'm doing everything I can not to get damage from this guy. Moving up the inside, and the Joker has done well for car number 7, who moves up into the lead of the race. They're side by side behind for what is now the battle for P3, and it looks like Kyle's finally going to take it as Mark looking for a switchback possibly into turn 2 up the inside, and he's not quite going to find the space. Good on him to back out there. A lot of people would just commit to that, continue to commit late, I think is the correct way to say that, and just run into the front or the side of the car ahead of them. Over the jump for us as we're chasing down car number 7, and he just does not turn the car to the left over the sausage sideways, and that is absolutely, I mean, that might be steering damage for all 4 wheels, or suspension damage, excuse me, causing steering damage. Little bit of a tandem drift going on behind. Mark seems to lose it though, as they just about find the exit of the corner, and he's going to lose about a second there, falling behind, solidifying him into P3 for the time being. Once again, coming up on some lapped traffic here, and we don't have a ton of time behind. The car behind is about 5 seconds away, so just one spin and he could claim the lead from us. Very close call here, going around the outside of this lap traffic in the long right-hander and managing to keep it clean. The battle for P2 is still raging behind. There's Kyle in P2 and Mark in P3, but it is about to slip through Mark's fingers as he just lands a little bit not the right way. It's hard to tell exactly what the right way is, but his rear left is gone, so he is out of this race. Final lap, we haven't taken our Joker yet, so our already existing gap of about 8 seconds to P2 in class is about to grow exponentially, or well, probably not exponentially, but quite a bit, about 30% of what the gap currently is, heading towards the line with the gap now at 11 seconds, 12 seconds, so I guess it grew by about 50%. Quick math, race car driver math, and we're crossing the line for another flawless victory. 2 wins and 2 broken wrists. It's been a very good day. I wish that this would stay here forever. Rear wheel drive cars in the dirt are so much fun. Crossing for the lead, and Kyle and then Spitty behind, actually finishing in P3 in class. So both people from the Discord. Most of these races were just people from our Discord. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, please check out my channel, the playlist in the description, and subscribe.